Good morning, everyone. My internet wasn't really working as best it could this morning. It's good to see you. Thanks for being here. It's a beautiful day again here in coastal Virginia. Nice fall day. And I'm really grateful to be here with you and to have you here with me, giving me the opportunity to share that which all that is shares with me to present to you on a regular daily basis or 3 or 4 times a week. So thanks again for being here. So let's begin as we do with our morning breathing practice. So again, it's breathe in through the nose, hold, and then out through the mouth. And so let's begin. In through the nose, hold, out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose, hold, out through the mouth. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So today I want to share. Last night was our Conversations with God book study, and we're in, I think it's chapter 6 in the first book, A Conversation with God by Neale Donald Walsch. And I found it very interesting, the interaction in the book last night, and I wanted to share it with you today. And so, again, to give you the context, Neil was feeling really down and depressed because he had lost his job again and all kinds of other stuff had gone wrong, and he didn't know how he was going to take care of his family and all that. And so, with his head in his hands, he said a jailhouse like prayer, like, God help me. Yeah, I don't understand why I have this trouble. And a conversation began in his head, something to like, well, Neil. And then that transferred into automatic writing. And that automatic writing then became the series of books, A Conversation with God. And so that's how it goes. Neil asks questions, and God answers those questions for Neil in automatic writing. And that writing became this book. And so we're on page 118. And Neil asks, I don't believe that whatever I ask, I get. My life has not been a testimony to that. In fact, I rarely get what I ask for in prayer. When I do, I consider myself damn lucky, says Neil. And God responds, well, that's an interesting choice of words. You have an option, it seems. In your life, you can either be damned lucky or you could be blessing lucky. I'd rather you be blessing lucky. But of course, I'll never interfere with your decisions, says God. And God carries on, I tell you this, you always get what you create, and you are always creating. I do not make a judgment, says God, about the creations that you conjure up. I simply empower you to conjure more and more and more and more. If you don't like what you just created, choose again. My job as God is to always give you the opportunity to create. Now, you are telling me, says God, that you haven't always gotten what you wanted. Yet I am here to tell you that you have always gotten what you called forth. Life is always a result of your thoughts about it, including your obviously creative thought that you seldom get what you choose. Now, in this present instance, you see yourself as a victim of the situation of losing your job, says God. Yet the truth is that you no longer chose that job. You stopped getting up in the morning in anticipation and began getting up with dread. You stopped feeling happy about your work and began feeling resentment. You even began fantasizing, do something else. You think these things mean nothing. You misunderstand your own power, says God. I tell you this, says God, your life proceeds out of your intentions for your life. So, what is your intention now, Neil? Asked God. Do you intend to prove your theory that life seldom brings you what you choose, or do you intend to demonstrate who you really are as the Son of God and who I am? And Neil says, well, I feel chagrined. I feel chastised. I feel embarrassed. And God says, well, does that serve you? Why not simply acknowledge the truth when you hear it and move toward it? There is no need to recriminate against yourself. Simply notice what you've been choosing and choose again. But why am I so ready to always choose the negative and then to spank myself for it? Asked Neil. And God says, Neil, what can you expect? You have been told from your earliest days that you are bad. You accept that you were born in sin, feeling guilty in a learned response. You've been told to feel guilty about yourself for things that you did before you could even do anything. You have been taught to feel shame for being born less than perfect. This alleged state of imperfection in which you are said to have come into this world is what your religious have the gall to call original sin. And it is original sin, but not your original sin. It is the first sin to be perpetrated upon you by a world which knows nothing of God, if it thinks that God would or could create anything imperfect. Some of your religions have built up whole theologies around the misconception. That is what it is, literally, a misconception. For anything I conceive, says God, all that to which I give life, says God, is perfect. A perfect reflection of perfection itself. made in the image and likeness of me, God. Yet, in order to justify the idea of a punitive God, your religions need to create something for me to be angry about, so that even those people who lead exemplary lives somehow need to be saved. If they don't need to be saved from themselves, they need to be, then they need to be saved from their own built-in imperfection. So these religions say, you'd better do something about all of this and fast, or you'll go straight to hell. This, in the end, may do nothing to mollify a weird, vindictive, angry God. But it does give life to a weird, vindictive, angry religion. Thus do religions perpetrate themselves. Thus does power remain concentrated in the hands of the few, rather than experienced through the hands of the many. Of course, you choose constantly the lesser thought, the smaller idea, the tiniest concept of yourself and your power, to say nothing of me, God, and mine. You've been taught to. And Neil says, my God, how can I undo this teaching? And God says, that is a good question, and addresses and addressed to just the right person. You can undo the teaching by reading and rereading positive, affirmative truth. Undo the teaching. And that ends chapter 7, not chapter 6. And so, as I've been sharing with you over and over frequently, the whole perception that we have been given for generation after generation, after century after century, after millennia, is that God is out there somewhere and I am separate from God. I am separate from all that is. That's what we're taught. That's what we're brought up with. Not through any not through any understanding. My mom and dad didn't know any different. My grandparents didn't know any different. My great grandparents didn't know any different. All the teachers that I was taught by did not know any different. None of them knew. None of them knew. The basic fundamental teachings of spiritual consciousness in these United States of America is now and has always been fundamental Christian teaching, which centers on original sin. It centers on that. The whole story of how the Christ in Jesus sacrificed himself on the cross for the forgiveness of our sins, is all connected to that whole perception that I was born with a sin that I inherited from Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve went against God's law in the Garden of Eden and ate from the tree of knowledge. This action on the part of Adam and Eve was the original sin according to Christendom. And the whole of human creation has been shackled to this original sin. This is the Judeo-Christian teaching. And what I know today is that it is not the truth. The truth is, I am, you are, created in the image and likeness of all that is. I am part of all that is. All that is part of me. Everything on this earth, everything in the cosmos, everything in the multiverse is all part of me. Excuse me a minute. Here we go. Okay, sorry about that. So I am grateful. I am grateful to have been given this understanding, to be offered the opportunity of free will, to come here to this earth plane, to choose freely to embrace the presence of God that I am. I am grateful to be able to be here and share that understanding with you. I am thankful that you are out there, whomever you may be, to hear what it is that all that is gives to me to say to you. Because we are not separated. We are not separated. The understanding of oneness is the imperative we are given to realize that we were all in this together, and that the whole point of each human experience is to realize that human experience as powered by and fueled by the presence of God, which is in fact the fundamental aspect of each being. That is who you are. That is who I am. I am so grateful that I have had the opportunity today to read from to read from Neil Donald Walsh's book, A Conversation with God. I am grateful that the opportunity to read that book is presented to me. The book was written in 1992, so it's something current, and it offers a great insight to who we are. My keen desire is to open up for you the possibility that I am, that you are. The fact of the matter is I simply cannot speak I cannot speak of who you are. Only you can speak of I am in the present. I am is the PowerPoint. I am the presence of God wherever I am. The song goes, I am the light of God. I am the love of God. I am the power of God. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. You are the light of God. You are the love of God. You are the power of God. You are the presence of God. Wherever you are, God is. We are the light of God. We are the love of God. We are the power of God. We are the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is. And all is well. Blessings upon you. I salute you as the presence of God. Namaste, namaste, namaste.